In my life, I have heard, felt, and even smelled ghosts. Hasn't everyone? Sharp edges is true, inexplicable stories. Do sharp edges exist between what we perceive and reality? Here is a bit of this and that, and a viewer submission. The music box. I have this music box that I keep on the windowsill in my living room. Kind of forgotten, a little dusty. To tell you the truth, I don't play it much. But I'm in the kitchen one afternoon and I hear it playing. So I run into the living room and I stare at it. And it's playing and I figure, well, maybe it's got a little bit of music left in it and it'll stop after a couple of seconds. No, it plays the entire song. Dancing in the Dark. So one night, same living room, I'm watching a sad movie. And I shut all the lights, I shut off the movie, and I'm kind of feeling melancholy, so I grab a pillow and I'm humming, and I'm dancing in the dark by myself. And I get this puff of air in my face. Needless to say, I put on all the lights, put the TV back on, and I don't dance in the dark anymore. Aunt Mary. I have a aunt that died when I was quite young. She was like my favorite aunt. She loved little girls. She had 2 boys. So I think of her now and then, but I especially thought of her a couple of times when I went to check on my young babies in the cribs. I had 2 little girls. And when they were infants, I would go into their rooms in the middle of the night to check on them, as mothers do. And not all the time, but sometimes I'd smell cigarette smoke. My aunt was an avid smoker. I always want to think that she came to check on my little ones. She always wanted a little girl. She always treated me like her own. The cold hand. One afternoon I was doing dishes. You're by the sink, looking out the window, and I feel this coldness on my hip. A coldness that you can't even describe. Like ice cold. Go right through my hip. And I thought about it, and I said to myself, what is that? And it felt like a hand, like a little bit of a pressure. And after a while, it just went away. And finally, our final story is from YouTuber Disney Queen Skelly. She tells us that Disneyland has lots of ghost stories, told mostly by employees, but not a lot from guests. She submits this one. She says, my friend is afraid to go on the Indiana Jones rides at Disneyland. It's been a childhood trauma experience for her. Sometimes she gets brave though and wants to go on, so we do. There was one time we went on, and she had her hands gripped tight on the bar in front of us. After the scene where the boulder comes at you, there's a moment of darkness before Indy tells you, that wasn't bad, was it? It was in that brief darkness, I felt a hand grab my shoulder. She felt the same. But when I looked at her hands, they were still in the bar. Upon asking if she grabbed my shoulder, she said no, and asked if I did the same. This happened in the last row of the car. Needless to say, we asked to be in row 1 or 2 from now on. Thank you for listening to Sharp Edges, Inexplicable But True. If you like listening to true stories that make you question what you see and call reality, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment. And finally, if you have a true story that you would like to share, be sure to send it to sharpedges2021@gmail.com. Until next time, look out for those sharp edges.